Hello, I'm Mitch Pal. Today I bring you another video. As you can see, we're in the world of Bandai, or my Star Wars creations, I guess. I don't know how we put this. It's just a Star Wars themed video. We're doing Bandai, we're doing an X-Wing, as the thumbnail shows. Alright, let's get into it. I'm in a rush, so let's go. Alright, we're going to be doing Pose X-Wing. The only thing, as the title suggests, I'm not doing it normally. I'm going for a more scrap together X-Wing for my character that is my little avatar here. The avatar is 0427. He is a clone engineer that fought on Mandalore, but his regiment was ambushed and outrun. So he is a lone survivor of a regiment that was presumed dead. Gone, dismantled, no survivors. He survived. So he's been on Mandalore ever since. Now, technically, there have been Republican and Imperial troops in the area and on Mandalore throughout the years, but they're not frequent. But when you get to, say, Rebels, there are more signs of Imperial and Republican forces to a degree. There is a lot more Imperial, but I had to go back and double check. X-Wings were on Mandalore. Now, they weren't massively produced or widely used, but they were there enough that you could presumably say someone could strategically acquire one and rebuild it, or take steel parts and reassemble one. And that's kind of the story I've gone with for C0427. He is an engineer, so he has the know-how to put things back together and do field repairs. So only naturally he will eventually figure out, over the years of being trapped there on Mandalore for about I think it's 18 to 20 years, roughly, would be about it. I think that was the calculations that I made. I think it's about 20 years, which would technically make him 40, but 0427 is a natural born clone, because he's a sort of part of a regiment of seeing if this is even a viable solution to, instead of doing cloning. It wasn't after the entire dispatchment of the regiment due to the Mandalorian intervention. So he is a lone trooper that is 40-ish years old, give or take, that has just survived 20 years on a planet by himself, of just fleeing and hoping that it isn't gone to crap. So that's kind of the lore I've gone for this character. I've also may or may not have spent my time hunting for bits and pieces that I like, and may or may not have bought myself 3 Star Wars figures that may be used for a potential video. We will see. I might make a few of them and then tear them apart later. We'll see. But for this one, I will say this. The instructions on the box for this Bandai Namco, I think it's 117? No, it's not 17. What am I going for? 117 would be like 3-4 feet. This is... I'm actually no, I can't see where I saw it. No idea. But it's like 100. It's like 100 to a 30. I don't know. It's extremely small. But I've gone through this and I thought, well, one, I didn't know they actually made small kits of the X-Wing. And since this is a clone, again, engineer, there is piloting training in the for clone engineers, as they are usually used for pilots. They're either pilots, and they sort of multi-role. Yeah, multi-rolled. I don't know. However that word is said. they work in multiple roles in forces, being field engineers, meaning they're just fixing shit while they're getting shot at, and making gear repair when they can, or in the lesser woes of battle. So the idea of him building a X-Wing, using said X-Wing for a localized transportation method, because I'm going to assume he's going to find a hard time getting fuel for an X-Wing, because they run on, I forget. Let's go into painting. I'm not exactly sure what they run on. Novalex, Earthwalker. Yeah, it's a power generator. We're using Vallejo premium color white primer. I'm using this for a base because I want, again, my first idea was to do this as a Republican X-Wing, but then realized Republicans aren't on Mandalore fully, then like more moved away from that. So it is a bit of a tricky thing. So I decided to keep a few white panels using Vallejo Mecha Primer black, and just going over it again to make it a more black X-Wing, because there are black X-Wings on Mandalore by canon events from Rebels and the new Mandalorian series. I believe there was one. I believe, if I remember correctly, I saw one in one of the city scenes, I think it was. I can't remember now. Army Painter Ash Grey Shiny Silver. I use this as a 50-50 mix to go over the metallics and sort of just give me a base coat of where the hell I'm going with this. What I do is, since the Mandalorian series is a little later in the Star Wars like timeline, roughly, I have decided to use a Republican ship. Oh, what's his name? AK acrylic color black red. I'm getting massive brain fart at the moment. It's like I'm just can't remember things, and I'm trying to be quick because it's a very short video. Not Coruscant. That damn X-Wing pilot police officer that keeps hunting down Mando, or whatever his name. Not Qui-Gon Jinn, that's a completely different character altogether. God damn. Again, I'm having a brain fart, I do apologize. AK Acrylic Color Volcanic Yellow. I use his pattern that he stars on his X-Wing's wing to sort of replicate that sort of organization's, I forget the name of them again. I haven't watched Mandalorian in ages because I kind of got sick and tired of it after they took off the helmet. So I do apologize. But yeah, I'm trying to give this a sort of somewhat of a lore perspective of it being in the actual universe. Game color, Scarlet Blood, Fluorescent Red. So I've tried my best to kind of mix it together and not to a degree. Surprisingly, this is a very tight frame of like trying to get this to work. But relatively, this is plausible. Though illogical, plausible. That's what I'm going off of. He's been one hell of a lucky engineer, we'll say that. Army Painter, Uniform Grey, watered down to a wash consistency and then placed all over the model. To sort of dirty it down and give it a bit more grime. And sort of make all the nicer clean panels look like absolute crap, so it does then portrays that they are older and not well maintained because they are scrappy parts. Yeah, I assume they were damaged pieces and they're like the best part of a damaged piece. Again, I've been at this for a while. I am tired. I am trying to... You know the worst thing is? Most of this video has just been me... Like, during the process of doing this model, has been solely me looking up lore to see if I can actually make this work. And theoretically, yes, it can work. Logically, it's a bit... you'd have to stretch that a little bit. Because, lore-wise, it is plausible. In the later half of the... his lifespan, he didn't have it. He's acquired it in the past 5 to 10 years. We'll say that. Or no, 5 years roughly. But yeah, here's the model. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I do apologize for me ranting like a madman trying to get this sorted. I will say this is 6 PM on Sunday. This video comes out in 4 hours. So yeah, I'm a bit stressed. So I'm gonna go edit. Hope you guys enjoy. See ya later. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I do apologize for the cut in the end of the explanation video, the explanation part. I do apologize for that. I am again stressed. I'm trying to get this video out as soon as possible, so you guys actually have a Monday video. So yeah. Hopefully, if my plans work out the way I want them to, I'll have another Star Wars video on Friday. If not Friday, it will be Monday next week. So we'll see how that goes. And hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another video. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.